Hi everybody, welcome back on my channel. This is take two. Today's topic is about how to add spices in your life. Spices are some kind of herbs, salt, pepper, anything that you want to dash onto your food to give it flavor. Let's face it, life could be boring sometimes. You are doing the same things over and over again, different day, the same things. So what are the ways that you can do and implement in your life to make your life beautiful, flavorful, and make it spicy, honey? I am the person that I will not allow society to put me in a box. I do things unconventionally. I do not think like everybody else. I have known that as a very young age. Therefore, I will not compromise. One is that know your style. If you probably missed my last video about femininity, masculinity, it's something to talk about your wardrobe. Yes, on this channel, it's about Christianity, talking about Bible verses, practical manual guidelines from the Bible. Looks do matter, people. If you think that looks do not matter, it does. We cannot just take everything spiritually, but we also have to consider what we look outside. I know there's no sun. I'm wearing my sunglasses inside. Anyway, don't get distracted. I just think it looks good with my outfit. You feel good when you look good. There is something that changes your psyche when you put an effort to your outfit. That's why sometimes you have to go through your closet. This is why I have not produced videos in a few days, because I was busy organizing my closet. And I was just curating my wardrobe, trying to find out whether or not I'm still gonna wear this. And I have no idea. I have been into dresses lately. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. And I've also been trying to ask myself the question, would I want to wear this? And if I wear this, would I feel confident? When I was younger, of course, I did not know my style. I did not know what looks good on me. And for the sake of shopping, because I want to impress my friends, because I had the money to shop, I was just buying things that I have no idea that I look awful in them. But because of pressure, we try to conform to our society, the trends, and therefore you just have to go with that. But now that I'm a little older and I have to find my color and the best shape type for my body, these are the things that you have to find out. The color, your style, your personality, it depends on you. I cannot really tell you or advise to you what kind of clothes that fits you well. You have to find that out on your own. And therefore, to make your life spicy is to create some kind of wardrobe that you want to wear time and time again. It's about quality over quantity. And that's something that it takes for me to learn, because I thought quantity is better. But actually, when you have all these clothes, but they are poorly made and they don't last after a few mini washes, and you're just going to waste more money eventually, because you're going to keep buying new clothes and you're going to toss those things are ugly. And secondly, the things that can spice up your life are just buy flowers. Yes, it's simple as it may sound, but your environment, as I always say, creates an atmosphere of either coziness, either relaxing, or sometimes it can create stress. If my location or my environment is too boring, mundane, buying flowers, it just adds up and elevates your room. So this is why sometimes I love when I just buy fresh flowers from the store. $7, sometimes it's 12 a dozen roses. It makes a lot of difference. Bring some new plants or plants into your living room. It doesn't have to be plastic. I know people said we're going to save planet if you have invested on plastic, but we have so much plastics in this world already. I mean, the rise of artificial intelligence and the rise of, Botox here and doing something in your faces. We don't need all of that plastic anymore. Even plants, I don't want plastic plants. I want real plants, the ones that really have different colors and different tones. It makes a lot of difference. So as I said, scented candles are one of the things that I really enjoyed. Anything that can complement your environment. maybe a nice art that you can hang on your wall that can spice up your room. I mean, little things that can really make you happy and you just want to sit around and lounge. A specific location where you can just sit around and, if you're not a wine drinker, sip your coffee or sip your tea or have a glass of wine and read a good book. These are the things that can spice up your life. I used to be a drinker, heavy drinker, not like I was alcoholic or anything, but I felt like the things that made me enjoy before are still the things that I enjoy now, although it's about moderation. I don't believe in extreme, because anything that extreme is bad for your health. And so the things that you can also incorporate is, of course, to spice up your life is perhaps, as I said, is do not neglect your body. Body, soul, and spirit is what I truly going to emphasize on my channel. Our body is the temple of the holy living God. And if you don't take care of this body, one vessel that God has given you, you're going to just lose it, and you're eventually going to shut down and die. Because lately I've been thinking to myself, why don't I have a lot of energy? Because I have neglected exercise, and I have been pushing myself to the limit where I have no enough sleep. I don't eat the right kind of foods that are good for my body, like vegetables and fruits. I've been into processed foods lately, drinking too much soda and eating chips that are processed. These are the things that can actually make your body sick. As they said, food can make you better or they can make you sick. And when you're older, like me, I'm getting older, because if you're not getting older, probably you're dead. But you want to get older and you want to evolved, is that you have to really invest in your body. You have to look for ways to make your body healthy. As I said, when I was a teenager and younger, before I got married, I was into gym and looking after myself, because I was trying to, of course, attract the opposite sex. I was going to the gym, working out in the morning before going to work, eating salad and eating healthy, because I just took care of myself differently. But for some reason, as I said, when we grow older and we become married and we have children, as a woman, we neglect all of that. We think that somehow we are just not going to invest time or energy to put this effort to exercise, because, as I said, if we don't take care of ourselves as a woman, who's going to look after our children? Who's going to look after our husband? And who's going to do the work at home, like doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning? Because if you're always unhealthy and always sick, laying on the bed, you're going to be unproductive. And next thing you know, you are going to just probably ruin what you have. And one of the things also that can spice up your life as a woman is maybe create a business. I am a woman who always a goal-oriented. It's always been part of me that I just want to be an independent woman, financially savvy. And yes, I'm fortunate enough, I am privileged enough that right now, for the meantime, we can only survive with one income. Glory to God. But somehow, deep down inside my core, I really want to make my own extra money. Because maybe in college, I was able to afford myself to go to college on my own and working in the morning and going to school at night. And I was able to do that because I knew that if I was doing all these things for myself, I was somehow motivated. That keeps me going. That kept me going. And that kind of bring this spiciness in my life. I am not a sedentary woman. I was never taught that way. Perhaps is my upbringing. I was brought up in a culture or upbringing. My grandfather was a man of ethics. He loved to work, and he was always going and going like an energizer bunny until the day he died. And maybe somehow I have adopted that from him, and he just intrinsically, without my knowledge, that he somehow influenced me when we used to live at his house for many years, that I've seen how my grandfather really worked hard as a farmer, and then on top of that, he was also in politics. And so therefore, it was something that was ingrained in me as a child, that you must have something to do, because the devil is always gonna make you do something if you're not busy with your hands. That's why one of the motto or adage that I live by is in 1 Thessalonians that says, mind your business, work with your hands, and whatever you do, do it with all your heart. That's in Ecclesiastes. So it's about minding your business, live a quiet life as a woman, and then do something with your hands. And whatever you find to do, you have to do it with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Because at the end of the day, what else are you going to do in this life anyway? I know everything is vanity. Everything has been done before. And I was about to just quit on my YouTube channel for the 5th time, because my dilemma is that everybody has done it before. There are so many gurus out there, so many Christians out there, so many books about self-help books. C.S. Lewis wrote about the world, about society, the mere Christianity. I mean, there is Carl Jung, who wrote about self-development already, about the psychological dynamics of a human being. I mean, Shakespeare, Jane Austen, the great literature of all times. I'm thinking to myself, what difference does it make if I create this? Who cares? Nobody cares anyway. But then C.S. Lewis said, it's not about people not knowing, it's about making them aware of it. It's about making them aware that you have to keep doing it over and over again. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably butchering what he said, but there's some quote that he said, something along the lines where he said, people needs to be reminded, that's the word, they need to be reminded that they need to improve their lives. Yes, we do have a lot of motivational speaker. We are bombarded. We have podcast, talk show host, YouTube channel, and I'm one of them. Therefore, he said, people needs a reminder, because people are not the smartest. We're like a sheep. Remember what Jesus said? You need a shepherd who will guide you to the green pastures so that you're going to listen and retain what I've said. Although we do have an array of collections of books at the library and at Barnes & Nobles or any bookstores at your local town, but people need to be reminded. Therefore, as I said, I guess I'm just not going to quit on my channel, because people needs a reminder. Like your child. As a mother, I have to remind my child, brush your teeth every day, comb your hair, take a shower. Because as children, they have to be told over and over again, and that's how you are going to train them. Just like people, you have to be reminded. Get your act together. You need to evaluate your life, deal with your demons, heal from your wounds, and take responsibility. Because that's what human beings are. I have realized the things that are hard to do in life, they're hard for a reason. You know why? Because God had never intended for us to decide and to make choices for ourselves. Because before Adam and Eve had sinned and violated his law, we were supposed to be just like animals, doing nothing. We're not supposed to think. The fruits are hanging from there. We just have to grab it and eat it and do the whole thing all over again. However, the moment they have grabbed hold of the fruit of the knowledge and the good of tree of good and evil, our consciousness have been opened, and that's why being dedicated, disciplined, doing the hard stuff in life, being a grown-up, adulting are hard. They're difficult. It takes time. It doesn't take one snap of a finger and then your life is fabulous. It is about repetition, dedication, determination, self-discipline, self-control, yada, 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 yada. You know exactly what I mean. This is why, to spice up your life, you just have to look at sunglasses that fits on your face and go outside and slay dragons. I don't know. And also, another thing is that you have to create something in your life that you want to improve. To spice up your life, you need to improve on skills. Perhaps you want to improve on your communication skills, like I am trying so hard to improve on my communication skills, because that is my weakness. Probably you can relate that communication skills is something that all of us as human beings must learn and must develop. Communication skills, not only about talking much more and saying a lot of words out of your mouth, but it's actually listening to understand. As long as you listen to understand, to avoid conflict. Secondly, you communicate because you have a valid point, not with judgmental attitude, not with criticizing or critical spirit, not with egoistic because you want to prove the other person wrong. James 3:2 says, if anyone does not stumble in word, he or she is a perfect man, able to bridle the whole body. Maybe I'm going to do another video on communication and emotional intelligence. Well, I'm going to just say it here. But I was pondering about that verse. It's not about how positive thinking mindset, which we're always been taught. Think positively, think positively, think positive thoughts, which is good. We need to think positively. However, it's also about your words that comes out of your mouth, because it is harder to control what comes out of your mouth. That's why I'm learning that when you're upset, this comedian says, I don't know the person's name, I forgot. One of the wisest thing that his dad said, son, when you're mad, do not say the first thought that comes out of your head. Don't even say the second one either. Wait until it's the third one. And I have applied this exercise and it worked. Just because this morning, for instance, I was about to say something that is very attacking or critical towards my husband, and I just said stop first, and I applied that concept, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what can I say to make this whole thing lighter without attacking my husband, without criticizing him, without being judgmental? Because if I was gonna say the first thought in my head, there will be a war, there will be conflict. And that is what James said. If anyone is able to bridle the tongue, if anyone does not stumble in word, he is a perfect man. So communication skills is something that you need to spice up in your relationship. Something that you can add to your life. Maybe you want to learn a language, which I've been trying so hard to learn French and Spanish for the longest time. But because this girl have so much to do in her mind and her life, I get easily distracted. I have responsibilities, I have things to do. Sometimes I get easily distracted, and that's why sometimes I just put it the back burner. So anyway, another thing perhaps that you can spice up your life is, of course, invest on your not just education, communication skills, as I said. What else can we say to add up spices in your life? Make new friends, visit another local bakery. That's why environment do matter. I just recently visited this bakery that my son and I been there twice, and I never thought that they would have good pastries. You don't even have to travel to Paris. You just bring Paris in your local neighborhood. It's Paris baguette. I was like, I can't believe that they have wonderful pastries. And so these are the things, also visiting some new location that you have never been before. You don't have to travel 200 miles away from your house. You just have to look for this place that is tucked somewhere, that is hidden somewhere, that is a gem. Another thing is that maybe you just local libraries or museum or some kind of a park that you've never been to. That's the thing about me. I have learned this, that I was younger or in my teenage years before I got married. I was always an adventurous person. I was the one who's always going to antique store, walking around by myself, at this small park, going to the movie theater by myself, eating at the restaurant by myself. Those things never really bothered me. I don't know why they need to have company to eat somewhere at the restaurant. I mean, I've done those things before. People probably look at you like, wow, she's such a loner. But for me though, because sometimes my friends were busy and they have things to do, sometimes I just do things and venture on my own, because environment do matter. And when you are just stressed out and you have so much going on and you need a little bit of inspiration, and you want to get out of that rut, because sometimes you cannot grow in the same environment. Your mindset is limited, and when you have this idea is stagnant and you're stuck somewhere, change your environment. As I said, you don't need to relocate. You don't need to, if you can afford it, you don't need to even book a flight. All you have to do is find little nooks and crannies and this little gem, a restaurant, perhaps a new bar, if you live. I'm not saying that you should be a drunkard, or some kind of a coffee shop, or some kind of library that you've never been to. My son and I would just like go to this cute little place and we just sit there and watch people. I just like to watch people. And that is something that you can do to spice up your life. So those are just the things that I can share with you. I cannot really think of it right now. This is unorganized. I did not really put this in order of how I should do this video. Somehow I think I have to continue, and for now I have to go because I have to get my dinner ready. It's almost 6 o'clock and that's why I will see you in my next video. Forgive me if I am not very consistent. As I said, I will not going to have a specific date or time. I'm trying to be spontaneous as much as I can. Maybe I will go every day on a daily basis, maybe sometimes once a week, depending on my schedule. So please bear with me because I don't know what my schedule is. As I said, my son just graduated from his elementary school, and I have organized my closet, rearranged the other bedroom. So I have so much going on my plate. And that's why I said, you know what, I'll just give myself allowance not to do videos. And I give you time to just revisit my videos that are old that you have not watched. And if you'd like to support my channel, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on my next video. Have a fabulous day, everybody. And another thing, bonus, wear red lipstick. That can spice up your life as well.